All right, we're here live at the ANARC 75th anniversary Diamond Jubilee, and I'm here with Jeff Aronson, publisher of Rovers North, and unfortunately, Jeff Aronson is over there, still involved in the world's longest and most thorough drivers meeting, and so
they're teaching
they're breaking up. I can see it. I can see it breaking up as it is. So we may do an in-stream switch over to Jeff Aronson, but we figured we would come to you live talking about what's happening here today at the ANARC Diamond Jubilee. So, Ike, what are you looking forward to today?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. You know, they've got a bunch of trails that they're opening up to drivers, so they've got several different levels of difficulty. They've got so many cars, neat, interesting, historic cars on display. I want to check all those out.
Yep.
And really, I think the thing is all the people. There's so many people from all across the country who have gathered here for this event, and I'm super excited to meet a lot of these folks that I've known sort of virtually for a long time, and catching up with them. Just a number of people have already started stopping by and visiting with us, and that's super nice to hear. Several people come up recognizing us from the podcast.
Yes.
So that's heartening that there's at least 2 or 3 people watching.
Yeah, there's bound to be. I mean, there's at least one person. Liza is at home watching right now, at least. So
is your mom?
We have that. I don't think my mom watches the show. No, she doesn't. She doesn't care for it at all. But yeah, so we've got some super exciting stuff coming up today. Later this afternoon, we will have a head-to-head podcast challenge.
Oh,
the likes of which the world has never ever seen. We will have John Kostic, of course, from the Center Steer podcast, and myself hosting a Center Steer team made up of our very good friends Morgan and Harold, and the Underpowered Hour team made up of course, you, Ike, and none other but Dixon Kenner, because we had to draft. There was a first round draft pick, last minute trade, much negotiation happened, and we got Dixon in the trade. So you know, it feels like the right. You know, unfortunately, we weren't able to get the Freelander versus 80-inch feats of strength and majesty figured out.
The tug of war.
It's the next best thing. This is the next best thing. It will be it'll be the proverbial Freelander team versus the karmic 80-inch team, and I think it'll be great. So that's coming up at 6 o'clock local time here on the East Coast tonight, and then we will be sharing that as part of the live stream and things throughout the weekend. So and here he is, Jeff Aronson himself. We'll do let's do a mid-session swap out for Jeff Aronson.
Here he is.
Nothing like a live stream. Again, only Liza and maybe your mom. I'm sure your mom's watching.
No, I don't.
No, she doesn't watch either. Yeah, your mom doesn't have the YouTube. I know for a fact she does have the YouTube. She comments on the YouTube all the time.
She does.
Yeah, she's this number one fan.
Number one fan.
1.1.
At least there's
fan.
one. At least there's one.
Exactly. At least there's one. So
Jeff, you ready? All right.
We're inbound.
So when
Aronson
is the
inbound.
Freelander tractor pull?
Yeah, I think, you know, we tried to find 2 working Freelanders here in the United States. Unfortunately, we could only find 0.5 working Freelanders. Yeah. So we had a Freelander that only works on like odd even days of the of the month.
I think you need a whole integer to have a working.
It wasn't possible. Couldn't do it.
Is there a Freelander here?
I don't know if there's a Freelander here or not. Maybe there is. We should look. I don't know. See it. You know, honestly, if there isn't a Freelander part of the Land Rover display, we're really missing an opportunity. Okay, we're gonna do a Jeff Aronson switch out. Here we go. No problem. Mr. Aronson, how are you, sir?
I am fine. Sorry to be delayed. The drivers' meetings had lots of the right questions for them, so
Excellent.
I listened in for that.
That's good. That's
huge turnout, and it's only Thursday.
That's right. It's just started.
Extraordinary.
It's only just begun. And
wait a minute. That could be a song. My God, he could record this.
There we go. Well, sir, how forward are you looking to this week? This has been what seems like years in the works to get this all worked out. So what does it feel like to finally be here?
Well, quite extraordinary that a tremendous volunteer effort. There are no paid staff involved with any of this event.
Right.
actually is coming together. And to see the enthusiasm of all the folks who've come from all over the country to participate and to cheer on our favorite brand.
That's right.
It's extraordinary. It feels wonderful. And now the big things are starting. The off-roading. Well, I'll be leading the RTV
Right.
this afternoon
That's
and
right.
tomorrow afternoon. The competitors for the ANARC Cup will be self-selecting themselves, and we know there's a bunch of teams already getting ready.
That's
But
fantastic.
I have to say, just your presence here from the other end of the, at least from my perspective, the other end of the
That's
country.
right. That's right. Yeah.
I've happily seen a number of my fellow Mainers here who
Yes.
made the
Yes.
9-hour drive over. The weather doesn't seem to be impeding anyone.
Not at all.
And I predict that as this popular county road that it goes in front of us, as people drive that road, it's a popular tourist area, and see hundreds of Land Rovers.
That's right.
Of different models that they may never even know existed.
Right.
We'll have a lot of people just stopping in to get a day pass and just come look at everything.
I think so. There's
very
so much to
excited.
see. So much to see. We're here in the dealer area. We're
Right.
just, where we have everybody from Lucky Egg to our friends at CERC to the whole, crew from Rovers North. Great stuff on offer, product and demonstrations and things. And then to your point, of course, all of this off-road area. What was a ski hill yesterday is now, certainly upstate New York's largest off-road park, at least for the next few days. And I can't imagine that a little rain hasn't just made that a bit more fun for everybody.
So it most certainly has. We all love the challenge of slick off-road trails. We've also had to make a couple of changes in the TV, the competition, because we discovered that some of them, frankly, just can't be done when it's that wet.
Interesting.
And so we've made a couple of last-minute changes, and we'll be keeping an eye on that to make sure that everything stays safe.
Right.
But the fun part is that every course now becomes more challenging to you as a driver.
Right.
None of it in the RTV is ever dangerous, but it is challenging.
Right.
How slow can you go? If I could point a new song.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're looking forward to that, and we're going to have guests throughout the next 2 days. You and I will be here each morning, both tomorrow and Saturday, recapping what happened the day before. Well, thank you, sir, and talking about what's going on throughout the weekend. So we'll get some updates about the RTV, how the off-roading is going, and then, of course, as Ike and I were talking about earlier, the big podcast crossover event of the year. Everybody has all 18 of the listeners that listen to both shows are ravenous for this crossover event where we've just announced that Team Underpowered will be, of course, Ike and also Dixon Kenner. Because no better match, really.
No.
They're sort of, they share the same soul in a lot of ways.
They most certainly do. They most certainly do. And in some cases, share the same need for therapy.
That's exactly right. Yes, that's exactly right. And on that point, I see that, both Harold and Morgan have been warming up physically. They've been doing a lot of exercise, push-ups and things like that. I'm not sure that they realize it is not a physical competition.
No, I've only seen a push-up from the donut table.
That's right. That's
pushing back from the donut.
Exactly,
and not far back.
Not far back. No, not far back. No, exactly. Still not enough room for anybody else to get in there. But no, and it's going to be fantastic. That's 6 o'clock here Eastern time. Then we're joined by the Land Rover All-Star Band, Texas Beats, and the All-Star Band. It's going to be fantastic. And then, of course, tomorrow night is the big celebration, the big dinner, and of course the what will be a worldwide celebration of Land Rover 75th birthday.
That is fabulous. So. And I do want to remind everybody, happily, for this 75th anniversary, ANARC, the sponsoring group here, has invited and brought to this event 5 honorees.
That's right.
And the honorees are those who've made a significant impact on our enthusiast understanding of the brand, its capabilities, as well as the folk who actually worked on the engineering for some of them.
That's right.
So from the UK, we have your friend Nick Dimbleby.
Of course, yes.
the Camel Trophy book author and famed photographer
Absolutely.
for Land Rover.
Yeah,
Most
absolutely.
every vision somebody has had over the past 25 years of what a Land Rover can do is a photograph or video taken by Nick.
That's exactly
And
right.
his compatriots. So
Yep.
he's here. He's thrilled. Nick Rogers, who was a chief engineer at Jaguar Land Rover and developed many of the very vehicles that we brought here to love and
That's right.
adore.
That's right.
Nick is here with his wife, Laura.
Mhm.
We also have the only female competitor from the Camel Trophy team for the U.S.,
Yep.
Daphne Green.
That's
And
right.
Daphne is also and has been a lead instructor for the Land Rover driving team and is often the person organizing at every event, all the opportunities to drive the new ones with you.
Yeah, yeah,
And last
yeah.
but not least, Bob Burns, who created most of the special events from the days of Range Rover North America in the late 80s,
Yep, that's right.
right up until the mid 2015s.
Yeah, that's right.
And Bob is here as well. They're all wanting to meet everybody. Walk right up to them and say hi. They would really enjoy meeting the enthusiasts for whom they worked for so long.
And I have the distinct pleasure of knowing all of those
Yes,
folks
yeah,
a little bit. Some of them, of course, as you said, probably too well. And it is just an embarrassment of riches here.
Yeah.
Not just because of the vehicles, of which there are, I think, probably a representation of maybe almost every model, but also the folks. And that's really, I think, what makes this event so special. To your point, from west to east, from north to south, from Canada. I imagine there's even probably some folks from Mexico that they've all coalesced here in this magical little mountain resort to get money and to share their love for this brand. And I really can't wait.
No, it's off to a fabulous start with off-roading this morning. And I just looking around realized there are such a range of people here that you would not expect at any other activity. Land Rovers have always said they cross all, quote, class lines.
That's right.
And it is definitely shown here. I've seen people who I know to be CEOs of major companies.
Right.
And I've seen folks like me who had to repair their 109 5 times during the trip over from Maine.
That's
five
right.
times.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's part of the love of the hobby, I think. And no, it really is. It really is amazing. From the high class to the classless, everybody is here and having an equally
Thank
great
you
time.
for avoiding identifying me with the low class. I know that's what you were about to say, Stephen, but I understand.
I would never. Well, Jeff, thank you for the time this morning. Looking forward to this over the course of the next couple of days.
Great.
We're going to be joined by some fabulous guests. We're going to talk about the amazing and fabulous things that have been happening. And again, we'll be back here live tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern for a recap of what happened over the course of today, what we got up to at this podcast crossover event tonight. We'll all be enjoying the music from Texas Pete and Company, and looking forward to then what's going on over the course of the day and through the rest of the weekend. So
now I need to correct one statement you made
yes,
earlier.
sir.
And that is, I do know of a working Freelander. It exists.
Right.
And the owner of it is here. He was going to bring it, trailer it to the event because he already has 2 other Land Rovers here.
Yeah.
But his personal schedule of having to fly out on Saturday night prevented that from occurring.
Oh,
at the Mid-Atlantic Rally earlier this year, that was auctioned off as a fundraiser by Sarah Autumnworth.
Yes.
And the owner from the Washington, D.C. area is actually here. He and his son are here at the event. I might have to bring them over just as proof.
I think we're going to have to. I think we're going to have to. I would say that I believe it was you had to lose that raffle to get the Freelander, right? That was how it worked.
I think third prize.
Yeah, if you didn't buy a ticket, you might get the Freelander. So better to just hedge your bets. Yeah. Well, at that, we'll send it back. You have to get over to the RTV course. We have to get set up for an afternoon of podcasting and figure out how the rest of the day is going to go. So join us again 8:30 Eastern time tomorrow. To talk about what happened today and what's going on through the weekend. So on behalf of the Underpowered Hour and ANARC, I'm Steve Beres, and thank you, Jeff Aronson.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you all tomorrow.
We will. Thank you very much.